There's huge investment going on around the world to build exciting AI services for consumers, for businesses. The UK has played an incredibly important part in that and can continue to do so with huge benefits for our economy, for our public services. I think the risk is that if our copyright rules fall behind our major peers, whether that's the EU, Japan, or the US, if we don't have that part of the jigsaw, then it'll become harder and harder for people to justify building the latest and most powerful AI models here in the UK. As long as we stick to the objective that the government laid out back in last December when it launched its AI consultation of being able to train leading AI models here in the UK, I think there's room to strike a sensible compromise here. We want a world where rights holders can get a reasonable level of control over how their work is used, but that cannot come at the price of making it impossible to develop models here in the UK and driving developments of these exciting new services to other major economies. EU, Japan, and the US have taken very different routes in how they've reformed their copyright rules in order to ensure that they enable AI developments. That means that there is space for UK policymakers to look at different options, to learn from how these different countries with different legal and IP traditions have all got to a sensible answer which enables AI development. The government has a really exciting AI opportunities action plan, which includes everything from new measures to ensure people have the right skills, to creating AI growth zones and ensuring that we can get the right infrastructure in place. It would be such a shame if we let down all of those great efforts by not getting copyright reforms in place. I think the next step is for the government to bring forward proposals reflecting on the enormous input that they had to their consultation, which show a path to a UK text and data mining exemption of the sort that exists in the EU, that exists in Japan. And then I think we can have a reasonable debate over the kind of compromises that come with that, of which the most practical is probably giving creators and rights holders an opt-out so that they can have more control over how their content is used. Text and data mining exceptions have been introduced in the EU, Japan, and I think we need to be realistic that this is something of kind of table stakes for it really to be credible for the UK to take the leading role it should in global AI development. Other countries have got there by different routes, whether it's the US and its fair use doctrine, for example. But I think that a text and data mining exception is kind of a vital step if we really want to see the UK achieve what it can in AI. I think we need to be realistic. If we go too far with transparency requirements, if we require companies to be producing these exhaustive lists of sources used and how they've been used, what is going to happen is that first you're going to create security risks. You're going to be telling people the recipe for how to poison these models. You're also, I think, even more importantly, going to be undermining the dynamism and competition that currently exists in AI, because you're getting to a world there where there's no potential for people to have their kind of secret source for how their model uses data. Going to be impossible for smaller developers to comply with that kind of requirement.